Good morning, everyone. Eric Rogers here with Merchant Careers, and today is Friday Testimonial. We made it to Friday. Did you hit your goals that you set on Monday? Did you see the number of merchants that you made a goal, and hopefully you wrote that goal down? When you write things down, it's a lot better than you making a mental note, okay, I'll see 25 a day. You know, that's why on Monday we wanted you to at least type that in the questions box. Now, we did have a lady lined up today, and she had to be an extra chaperone for a child's, I guess a bunch of kids are going on a road trip, and they needed an extra chaperone. So this is something that came up here last minute, which is okay, because actually I like this format a lot better. So what I'm requesting for our attendees today live, and I appreciate each and every one of you, to go ahead and let me know that you're available on the audio side. I'm going to unmute you if you've got something that's working for you. You know, I've got a gentleman in Wisconsin who is just loading up the proposals, and he does not live in New York, Chicago, LA, metropolitan areas. And he's out there owning his backyard. He's going to tell you guys a nice story too of, believe it or not, somebody actually came in behind him, right? It might have been a phone call too, and how he overcame that objection. Little competition, right? So I would like for you, I'm going to go over our sales contest for June, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to open mic this thing for everybody. So I would like your participation. If you could do so, that would be outstanding. Now, in June, if you're not aware of this, we're going to try to give you a little urgency. Set a little urgency for your business. It seems like, you know, we get a proposal and then we we get busy. We get a proposal and I can't track down that business owner. You know, things do come up, like today, prime example, you know, our featured speaker, something came up, she had to be a chaperone, an extra chaperone, we understand. So what we've done here, just to let you guys know, is new policy, national sales directors. You know, if you're a regional account manager, you've been assigned Gabe, Julie, Steve Stein, Maria Nicotero, Eric Rogers, myself, I've got a little team too. And what we're going to do is after 2 days, if we get a proposal that we're saving over $100, okay, so let me change that pin color here. So if this monthly savings is over 100 bucks, and we're going to give you guys a couple days to go ahead and try to present the proposal, close it. If you need us from day one, let us know on a three-way call. We'll talk to the merchant too. But if we're saving them $100 plus a month, after 2 days, we will call them. Okay, so we're going to try to help out. If you get busy, we're also going to reach out and say, listen, we've got substantial savings here. We'd like to give you a breakdown. You know, what do we need to do to get this thing moving? Because, you know, there is an article, and I'm going to make sure I get that article posted on this computer from April, where MasterCard has done their due diligence, and there's only about 30 to 40% of the businesses out there as of the end of April who have updated equipment. That means what? That means 60 to 70% of the businesses have not. And again, if they're already in a contract and the savings are substantial, you know, if we, in the first 6 months or a year, we offset your prepay penalty. There are situations where we can actually go ahead and offset the prepay penalty anyway if it's a big enough account. We'll get those too. So we are going to reach out and try to help you, because the longer those proposals hang out there, the less likely what? You're going to get the business. Right? So what we're doing is to add a little urgency. We're going to go ahead and sweeten the pot. You know, you're making 50% residual for as long as that business is with Card Connect. 3 years, 5 years. Get that book of business. Get 1,000 coming your way every month, regardless of what you do. That's why you're here. So what we're going to do is try to go ahead and create a little urgency. So now, through the end of the month, This is boarded. So this doesn't even mean they've gone live yet. This is just the most boarded merchants for the month of June. Now through the end of the month, today's the 17th. We're about, a little over halfway there. We're going to go ahead and first place, you'll see here, first place, $250 cash. Also, in addition to that, plus you get a free Verifone 560. What does that mean? Well, that means that your next new merchant, not an existing merchant, but your next new merchant, if they're going to go ahead and use a tabletop VX520, you can sell it to them and take all of the money. Because the way this works is this cost, the VX520 cost is $225. So let me go ahead and try to write here. Cost is $225. You get one of these for free. Because the way this works is anything, this is a revenue stream that a lot of you are starting to wake up and go, oh, I get it now. I can sell this thing for $300 and we split $75. You make that money. See that? So the cost of this VX520 is $225. So you get one for free. Now your cost is what? Zero. So if you sell that for $200, you make a $200 commission. You make it all. You guys see that? So that's in addition to the $250 check that you'll receive on an ACH deposit right into your account. Second place, $100. Third place, $50. Okay, and it is, guys, we've got a lot of players in line for this thing right now. So, and it's not too late. Nobody's got like 20 proposals in underwriting. So there's no blowout here. We're going to game 7, right? Like Golden State and Cleveland, which might have been rigged from the beginning, but who knows, right? So that might be the one basketball game I watch all year. And honestly, I think you just watch the second half and you pretty much see the whole game, right? So here it is. You're ready to go. This is it right now through the end of the month. We're just trying to create a little urgency for everybody to get it going. Now, what I would like to do now is open this up, and I've got a gentleman in Wisconsin who we're going to start with. And Cy, and again, guys, I may black out a little bit of the screen. That's just the way that we've got this thing set up in our media room right now. We need to get the computers reworked here. So if I'm blacking your screen out, I apologize. Jana Payne, great to see you. Yeah, Penny, you should have full screen, although right now you may not. Hopefully it got a little better for you. So what I'd like to do is go ahead and get to our attendees. And Cy, you hear my man. There he is. Cy, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. And guys, I've worked with Cy directly. So he is a go-getter. And Cy, can you go ahead and speak for us? I want to make sure your audio is working there.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, you are perfect.
Okay.
So Cy, go ahead and kind of go over our morning today. You'd mentioned that we've got one of your files, and then just share with what's working with yourself.
Okay. Yeah, this morning I had to talk to Eric because I had a business, a cabinetry that wants to, well, they're not compliant right now, and they want to get on board as soon as possible. But after I was there a couple days ago, they had another agent salesman stopped in and told them, well, they could, because she actually showed them the proposal that I had left, and he said, well, we can beat that, but there was nothing left in writing. And so then I called her back here yesterday, and I just said, well, ours is in writing. We don't disclose, or we don't hide anything. And you also have me as your personal customer service rep, and I'm local, and so I got the call this morning that they decided to go with me on it then. And so we're in the process, and because they aren't compliant, they've got like 3 or 4 orders waiting to put in, so we need to get this one set up as soon as possible so they can get those swiped. So that's pretty much been my morning right now. We're working with Eric on trying to get that one squared away.
Yeah, and guys, did you notice that he didn't even blink? Some of you maybe panic when, oh man, somebody came in behind me and they said they were going to match or beat our rate. Once a merchant goes live with you, we have a lifetime price match guarantee just to make sure your book of business stays your book of business. We're going to do everything we can because you've worked hard enough to get it on the front end. So do you notice how Cy just went right into, well, listen, I'm part of this equation too. You've got me. I'm local and I refer you business. And guys, you may be an existing customer, right? And this is what Scott Tash does so well. I like to think I do the same thing where, listen, if I use a credit card somewhere, I'm going to try to get that business. And that's what Cy is doing in his area, which Cy, how many people are pretty much in your region?
Well, I live out in the country, so the closest town is about probably 20 miles away, and that's about 10,000. And then you go a little bit further, another 30 miles, you got a couple towns that are probably around 20,000. The closest large city is Madison, Wisconsin. That's about 250,000. That's about 70, 80 miles away. I haven't gotten out that far yet, but just been working the local towns, and so far it's been going pretty well.
Yeah, and Cy, that reminds me, by the way, we can order and purchase business leads for a certain area. So Cy, yours are actually supposed to be here today. I followed up with those with Lead Shack. But again, any business, there are a couple web pages that all of you can utilize. So that ought to be a nice segue. Small business listings. This is something that we kind of covered yesterday, and it may help you. This merchant circle that you see right here, I'm going to try to use my little arrow here. So guys, write this website down. This is something where you can share leads with other businesses, and it's across the U.S. Okay, so you've got and you're not limited to where you live as far as businesses, as long as you've got a relationship with that business. So Cy, if you have family down in South Beach, Miami, and they've got a cruise line business that they own, you can get that business. So there's also some other places where you can list your business and you are your own business. So these are free. Okay, top 10 free listings for establishing a presence in the digital world. Now, this is not going to take the place of what Cy is doing right now. Face to face, I'm here, the merchant sees you, and we kind of figured this out, right, Cy, by chance, that you're our customer retention too. In other words, when you sign this book of business up, it's not like the old slick willies that have been trained before who come into an area, do not live there, or they never see them again, where the merchant has no bind to. There's no relationship there, and you are a valuable commodity to that business. Yeah, we've got your business, you're working with us, but at the same time, I can refer you other businesses. I'm on merchantcircle.com. I'm listed, and I can refer people to you. Give me your website. So, Cy, what do you feel is working for you in Wisconsin right now? I know it's thawed out up there, and it's probably beautiful. You guys realize I'm in Arizona. We're going to hit 118 Saturday, 121 Sunday, 120 Monday. And folks, you're not out. I don't care if it's a dry heat or not. You'll have a good hair day. That's it. It is. You will melt. So, Cy, what's working there? What are you doing? What doing that you feel that everyone should know?
Weather-wise, we had upper 70s yesterday, and it's supposed to be low 80s today. So it's been great weather. But what's working is I just stop into the business and introduce myself, and then ask to talk to the owner, and if he's not available, find out when he is or whatever, so I can talk to whoever makes a decision. Or if they say, well, we have a business manager, I ask, do you make the decision on your merchant account processing? Make sure I talk to somebody who actually makes the decision, and then I just say that I'm the regional account manager for First Direct Financial, and that we do credit card processing through Card Connect. And if they don't cut me off and say, well, usually what I do is I say, I'm sure you've been approached several times by other salesmen trying to sell you the same thing, but we do a little bit differently. And then I have my card handy, and I just show the back of my card and say, we put our money where our mouth is. If we can't save you money on your last merchant account bill, we will pay you $1,000. And then I also say we also will revisit your business a couple times a year to see if we can maybe make some more adjustments. And most of them say, yeah, we haven't seen our last one since they signed us up. So that's usually a plus right there.
Mm-hmm. That's your in. That's your in. And
Yep.
guys, there's no magic, mystical, Jedi mind trick things that he's using on anybody, is there? Straightforward. Here it is. We can do business with you. We're going to save you money here. We've got software, POS systems or add-ons that can actually increase your business. And the more that Cy goes with this, because Cy, tell them how long you've been doing this.
Well, I just signed up. It was I think about the middle of May or so. It didn't really get going after they got my training done and online and everything. It was probably towards the end of May, so it hasn't been much. Probably about a month, maybe. I actually been out.
And then
Oh, yeah.
how busy have you kept me going until you get your co-pilot? How many applications do you have in?
Oh, let's see. I think I have well, just actually apps. I've got about 3, but as far as the quotes, I've done probably 8 or 10 of those
Right.
for the side by side. Yeah.
8 statements.
Yeah.
Guys, yeah, that's basically in what, the past 2 months?
Yeah. Well,
Or
actually, the past
excuse me,
month
2
about.
weeks. 2
Yeah.
weeks. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
Right.
so the statements are here. He is following up, and he's got 2 more coming as well. So he is keeping me busy. That's why I would need to get you your co-pilot stuff from Cart Connect, because you're loading me up. So this is the type of thing, guys. It's being done. It's being done. It's being done in an area that there's under 10,000, by far. That's 20 minutes away is 10,000 folks. So it's being done. And again, it's an effort level from Cy that he's giving, and he's leveraging those relationships, because that's, cold calling is one thing. And John Taylor had mentioned that the best is just being persistent, knowing that you all can do this. You do not need to be as tall as LeBron James to be good at this, right? And practice your whole life to make a free throw. It's not the case. You all can do this. So it's you how you're going to apply your efforts. We all get the same amount of time every day, right, Cy? So what are we going to do with
Yep.
that? You can do this part-time and build a very successful supplementary income business. And Scott Tash, in the Paul Webb training, there is a cause to that. If you've got children, like today, this lady today, could you be on a webinar and get highlighted and pat on the back, or are you going to fill in to be an extra chaperone, for a group that's going on a road trip? First things first, right? So that we understand money is not always number one, but boy, it's a big one, because residual income is something that comes your way every month, regardless of your monthly production. You build this, if 2,000 is good for you every month, stop. It'll be hard to, right? It'll be hard. Once you get the momentum going, guys, you guys will definitely, everywhere you go, even if you're traveling, if you go to a gas station, man, look at that old terminal. Take my card. Make sure this gets to your owner. I'm going to write this down. Do you have a card? I'm going to call you. I stopped by your store. I went to your car dealership. I bought a car there. I'm a customer of yours. You'll get their attention that way. So, Cy, thank you very much. Do you have anything else, Cy? Some fancy words of
No,
wisdom for everybody?
other than if they don't, cut me off right away and said, we're just plain either not interested or oh, I'm satisfied with what I got, I don't want to change or something, then I just go into that, that we do processing for over 60,000 companies, and that from the small store all the way up to the General Electric, Adobe, Social Security Administration, rated by the Better Business Bureau. So I just add those in there also then.
Beautiful. And that's something, guys, you know, what he's doing, and if you're involved with business networking groups or anything like that, is basically he's doing a 30-second or a 60-second kind of a elevator pitch, right? So that's kind of what he's doing here. So, you know, we have, and I'm looking for it on this computer. I think I put it on my mag stripe here. Let me see. Yeah, it may or may not be here. Let me look here. Oh, there it is. There it is. 1 minute elevator example. Okay, and if you need a copy of this, contact your national sales director. They'll be glad to help you out. And you know, this is what we do. You know, 50, and you're right, it's actually 70,000 by now. But your name dropping at the beginning, $1,000. Yeah, that's either here or there. A lot of you can switch this around. You know, so this is something that you can make your own. I want this to be comfortable for you, like it's a matter of fact. But this is just kind of a little guide for you as well. So if you're involved in the Chamber of Commerce, if you're involved in a networking group in your area, and if there's not one there, for example, Cy, if you do not have a networking group, you can, you know, advertise that, kind of say, hey, you know, I head up a breakfast club. We meet at 7 o'clock over at the whatever deli, right? Or, you know, if it's a Village Inn or a, you know, an IHOP, things like that. We meet there. Believe me, those restaurants will cater to you. And we just have breakfast. Everybody pays for the breakfast, but everybody gets a 60-second or 30-second go around the table, tell us what you do, and we exchange business. And we've got one person from each business, one real estate agent, one mortgage person, one chiropractor, one dentist, you know, in town, one, you know, whatever it is, you know, computer repair guy, handyman. I mean, you'd be surprised who will do this once a week, and you can head that up. So you can develop, if there's not one in your area, then you're the guy, you know, and everybody gets to kind of tell. And like Scott had mentioned in our training yesterday, this is a great idea. You know, you guys could take that training that we have, that NLP training, and take the basic parts, the very first module, the 7 steps to success. That's something that you guys could utilize and say, I'll do a presentation. We're going to do a lunch and learn Friday at this place, how to communicate with your kids. See that? And then go over and say, this is something I've learned at where I work. This is part of their training. And then you do the presentation. Isn't this great? And you'd be surprised. And what you could do is just go through module 1 and go through some of these 7 keys to success. Don't show them that. But you can say, this is something that you've got your sales master's manual. So you can print this out and give everybody maybe 2 or 3 pages, whatever you want to do. And then you can go, how do I communicate with my kids, or how to increase sales? You know, that way you don't have to change anything. You know, and then you could go ahead and say, this works for any business, right? And then, by the way, this is how men speak to women, how women speak to other women, how men speak to men. And then go over how to do the handshake correctly. You've got all this information. And then in your area, in your homeowners association, you know, and people love to find someone that has a nice topic like this. And how easy would this be? Neuro-linguistic training, you've got it all right here. And you do a 15 to 30-minute presentation. And by the way, my name's Cy. I do merchant processing. I'm in town. Come and see me. If you take Visa, MasterCard, and Discover, you need to talk to me. You're paying too much if you're not using Cy. You guys see that? So you could do a presentation. I mean, this would be some interesting things on how to talk to your kids. Is your son or daughter, is she an auditory or visual? So if you're there pointing your finger and just talking to them, you need to do this, you need to do that, it's not going to sink in. But if you write it down on a sticky note, go clean your room, go do this. They see it. See, that's a little different. So you guys have the ability to do this and get a little creative on that side of it. So, Cy, thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
I'm sure I'll be talking to you later today. So, really appreciate your participation. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and mute Cy. Let me see. Does anybody else want to contribute? Does anybody else have some things that are kind of working for them? John Taylor, great job. Thank you very much. Joe Rivard, yep, Las Vegas is just a little behind as far as the heat, but not much. I know. Joe, are you golfing? See, down here, we don't golf unless it's 105 or under. And, buddy, you're Gatorade and the hot towel. So, that's what I'm saying. Maybe Eva, do you want to, Eva, I want to unmute you here because she is, let me tell you something, man. This girl is tough. And Eva, can you hear us?
I hear you.
I hear you. All right, Eva, I want you to kind of, I didn't read your quote, but if you want to go ahead and share kind of what you ran into and how you're handling an objection. They're in LA. Yep.
And happy Friday to everybody. Hope everybody's going to have a good weekend. I've got to pack my husband and get him out of here. But yeah, I went to 2 places yesterday because I worked the other jobs and I had these all planned out. And they were supposedly going to be good. And yeah, we wanted to come look. But when the other partner was there, it was like, no, I'm committed. I've been with this guy. So everything that you guys have talked about, I got hit with all the no's yesterday. So I kind of went, instead of saying, okay, this is, yeah, it got you down, but you take it going. I'll work all weekend. I'm always working. I'm always hounding out my card. But then next week, I'm going to double kick it. I still got to work my 3 days at my other place and my other jobs. But you know what? I'm going to step it up. I'm going to get my gun range on, my shooting range on. I have my meeting on Monday. I just set my appointment with Sandy at InStore, and sent out my emails this morning as we're talking. And I'm always working as we're doing webinars too. So I finally got everything done, and I'm back to the pictures, watching Eric draw here and do his little thing. And and I know it's going to be hot. I talked to my son there yesterday in Phoenix, and he told me how hot it is. But we're going to get 110 here tomorrow in the valley. So we're going to be right behind you. But yeah, so next week I'm going to just, as I told him, put my chin up, put my shoulders back, give myself a kick swift in the ass, and I got this.
Yeah. Yeah. And guys, let me tell you something. Eva's tough. She's not going to slow down. She recognizes what we've got here regarding the residual income and the model where we are not here to get that residual income back from you if you're not hitting certain numbers every month like everybody else. Once you yep, go ahead, Eva.
Also, I went to another family party last week, and again, my little sister said, hey, did Joel give you that name of that pet person? I'm like, no. And I said, well, that's on my goal list, so that'll be my next goal, so I'm going to get them on next week too. So I'm going to go there for this contest, so don't you worry. It may take me, but I got 2 weeks, and I got this.
Yeah, and that's awesome. See, and guys, let me tell you something. She will not slow down for anybody here. Yeah, so this is something that I want to make sure that you guys are hearing this, that people are everywhere. Yeah, it's hot, but then we were complaining in November and December, well, it's the holidays. No one will talk to me. And then it was, well, it's New Year's and they're, getting their taxes done. And then, as soon as, yeah, go ahead, Eva.
Oh, no, I'm just laughing because I remember that.
Yeah, remember that. And then as soon as the excuses do not take over your thought process and I'm going to do this, be one of those rare birds that just, you don't know how to quit. And that's the people who are going to make it. If I ran into a no, are you going to, 100%, and Scott does this all the time. Baseball players make multi-millions of dollars for just being 30%. If you hit 300, you're going to be there. And guys, the money is going to be there too. So no one likes to be told no. Nobody does, right? So this is something that Eva, as far as her thick skin, is serving her well, and she has a lot of stuff going on, but she's going to do very well at this. And the Chamber of Commerce, Eva, I think, is something that you're still doing. Do you want to share?
Yeah, in fact, I was just reading it. I have my meeting on, well, I'm going to meet the congressman. I'm going to go to breakfast on the 30th with the congressman in Silver Lake, but they send me an email like at least twice a month and always send me my new people who are in there. I just gave them a little extra on my thing. Not only are they going to get their $1,000 if they don't get it, but I also do baskets, so I'm also throwing in a little $20 basket if they sign up with me and go with it. So I'm, promoting myself as much as I can.
Mm-hmm. No, and doing a great job too, by the way. So that's something that I wanted to make sure everybody, had a chance to hear Eva today as well. So that's something I want to make sure. Yeah, Keith Wallen. Some will, some won't. So what?
Yep.
I like.
Ellen, congrats, Si. You did great. Glad to hear you're doing so good. It's hard out there, like Eric says, working my other jobs. I'm working now 3 days at my Dave & Buster's, and I'm in contest over there too, and believe me, when it comes to swiping that $20 supercharger, I'm pushing it. But when it comes here, I'm actually going to go hit all my little vendors down in the mall in the next week too. I've been looking at them. I've been scoping on them. I want to make sure who's there. So I've been going out there. I've got the patio next week. I figure maybe afterwards I'm going to go down and hand out my card to a couple of them because I've been seeing that the same guys have been doing it. So, I work it over there too.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. ABC, always be closing, guys. You never know who you're going to run into, and that is a fact. So just keep your eyes and ears peeled. Eva, thank you so much. If you need,
Thank you guys, have a good weekend.
yeah, and those shooting ranges, make sure you get me a contact name and number. I'll gladly give them a call.
I'm doing that all to you now. I got my stuff over to Sandy, set the appointment for 1:45 on Monday. We're in.
Nice. All right. Fantastic. Thank you much. Thank you much.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Yep. So, yeah, we're at 9:30. I can't believe the time just rolls like this. So, but yeah, like I said, I want to make sure that everybody is getting a chance here to kind of get in here. Henderson Quinn, I'm sorry you're having a little trouble getting in here. Hopefully, it's nothing on this end. Again, I know visually sometimes, since we've only got one screen to work with here, that when I pull out the questions box, you may be getting a black square in front, which we're working on. So anyway, well, we should have this ready for the weekend. I know as soon as we're done here that Sean's going to come in and make some changes. So we really appreciate everybody that's here. Remember, the money's there. The book of business is there. You've got such a humongous, as far as customer base to go after. Anybody that accepts Visa, MasterCard, and Discover is a client, a potential client. And even the businesses maybe that are applying for their business license, that could be a resource too, that aren't even started, they're not accepting Visa, MasterCard yet. And you can work that angle too. So Eva Miles, thank you very much. Cy, I'd kill your last name, Deitelhoff, I believe. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but he is absolutely killing it up there in Wisconsin. So it can be done, and I know Deborah Buchanan. I know David. I know, Gregory Okie. I know Jana Payne, Jay Hoff. All of you can do the same thing. Kenna Young, there's no reason that you can't win this thing. Mike Hodson, I know you're going to go for it. Penny, you've got a ton of contacts. Let's do it. Get those, say, listen, do me a favor. I've got a contest from now to the end of the month. I just need your merchant statements. We'll take care of the rest. Here's your proposal. Well, my goodness, I didn't realize we could save you this much money. What's next? I'm your new rep. So, Nick, go into that restaurant and say, listen, I am a client of yours. You see me every Friday. I refer people here all the time. Let's do business. Sari Halpern, I know you've got some people lined up over there. Tim, Yvonne Christensen, we've got some things going there, pharmacy, etc. So don't wait around. You know what I mean? I know life gets busy, This 30 minutes just flew by. So, and I know we're over, but I want to make sure that everybody is getting a little bit motivated here because we've got a nice window. Okay, there was a big push before October. A lot of those people are doing other things now. You can cherry pick these. Go ahead and knock them down. So what will happen is we will catch you guys as far as Monday at the same place, same time. I'm just looking at a few questions. Jana Payne, so when the NSDs want to help, how can we effectively use the help? Okay, well, Jana, I'm not sure of the question. If you're uncomfortable talking to a merchant, set up a conference call time. We'll get on the phone with them because we may be able to find a hot button there that maybe you're not seeing. And Jana, you've got a good NSD. Make sure you're on the phone, okay, with them. So what you want to do is use us. And like I said, we're going to get a little more aggressive on our end. If we're saving if a proposal comes back and the savings are over $100 a month, you know, and again, I can kind of look at numbers a little differently. Math is something I'm not scared of, but this is something where $100 is, if you look at it, it's really 200. And then how much merchandise do you need to sell to net profit $200 a month? Because guys, this state, they're not doing anything different to save that $100 a month that's going right out the door. You know, anybody here in Arizona, Las Vegas, even I guess California is going to catch this heat wave too. Are you going to turn the air conditioning on and leave the door open? That's exactly what you're doing as a merchant if you're not taking advantage of that. And we need to hit them now. Need to get on them. The longer that lingers, the less likely we've got a chance to knocking these things down. So we're going to get a little more aggressive, and it doesn't mean anything different for you as far as your commissions or anything. This is just something we're doing in-house to get this thing going. So Jana, if you need to figure out how to use your NSD the most effective way, straight up call them. Say, I need help. Here are the merchants. I need to get these closed. We're saving them money, even if it's $30, $50. Look at the percentage. You know, are you planning on expanding your business? Well, sure I am. You know, this isn't it. Seasonal. We've got a fireworks guy that we're hustling to get done. July 4th's coming up. We want that business. He does hundreds of thousands in fireworks. Get him in. So we'll help you out. We'll help you out. So let me go ahead and stop the recording. This will get posted. This new system takes a little bit longer for it to configure too. The computer's just a little bit slower. So I'll have this up though by the end of business today. Really appreciate everybody that's here. Eric Rogers here with Merchant Careers, and we'll see you Monday. Same place, same time. Stay cool this weekend. That's going to be a chore in and of itself. Trust me. Again, thank you.